has closed that gap up to 2 points in the championship to our championship leader, Lucas Stiefelhagen. You might ask myself, oh, we are already lights out and underway. That caught us off guard because we didn't see it here in the commentary booth. It's a good start though for Benjamin Mazatis. Philip Dietrich alongside him in the E-Car Expo, immediately drawing alongside into turn one. No, inside for Benjamin Mazatis, you would say would be the preferable line, and he does keep P1. Look on the inside though, the orange car of Maxim Dacha looking in for P1, hand over fist. Inside now for the left-hander for Benjamin Mazatis, and finally those two have fought out. Who's going to lead this race? No, not quite yet, because here comes Philip Dietrich once again on the run into Dinsenkirchen. Once again, last corner of the track, Dutzenteich.
And Maxim Dacha now up to second place, has got past Benjamin Mazatis, who's now down to P4, and Lucas Stiefelhagen is looking on the inside as well as Patricia Stalizzane.
Russell is 6th, Olaf Va in 7th, and Alice Gustafsson down in 8th. Inside defended by Philip Dietrich. Maxim Dacha is going to have to try and work together with Philip Dietrich in this race to try and at least break away from the chasing pack behind that, who are fighting hand over fist too. Patricia Stalizzane has now also gotten past Benjamin Mazatis. Julian Wurtele, next one behind him, but Patricia Stalizzane has already taken a second place twice in the NXT Gen Cup. With a breaking point, difficult to make an overtake if you're not already alongside going into it. So the last corner and the first corner, main points of attention for the spectators too. That's where you'll see the overtakes. Patricia Stalizzane taking a wider line than really necessary there. I think just, well, choosing safety over just full or full push attack at this moment in the race. Philip Dietrich in P1 still ahead of Maxim Dacha. Stiefelhagen looking for a way past though in P3. Wants to at least be second in this race.
A few meters on Lucas Stiefelhagen. Let's see if she can catch up on the long straight here at Norisring. It's still Dietrich before Dasher, before Stiefelhagen. But Maxim Dasher is looking at our leader, Philip Dietrich.
13 laps this race will be in terms of laps, one of the longest races we'll see on the calendar, if not the longest, with the two yet to come. More of the same this year, especially with how this race is unfolding. The front four, I mean, there's basically nothing between them.
No, and it looks like Maxim Dacha is pushing Philip Dietrich down to the last hairpin.
Here we go, Maxim Dacha. This time he has the inside. It's time for Maxim Dacha to lead. It's also time for Lucas Stiefelhagen to follow Maxim Dacha through. And all of a sudden, it's not Dietrich at the front, no. It's Maxim Dacha and then Lucas Stiefelhagen, Philip Dietrich, all the way down now in P3. Patricia Stalizzane, though, biding her time in the background. Opens the door for him, I think almost thinking that he's not going to make the corner. This was turn one a few laps ago. That is Bennett Earl in the red car, the red and white car. Up the inside comes the 21 of Siri Högfeld in the Hexis car. And there's contact between the two, not too much though. Robin is racing, I always say. Philip Dietrich though now having to defend from Patricia Stalizzane. Look at the gap that's opened up to Lucas Stiefelhagen, and also Benjamin Mazatis is close back up. So it's not only looking forward now for Patricia, it's also looking in the mirror to Benjamin Mazatis.
I remember in Oschersleben we had also pretty warm weather and long races, and some of the drivers were complaining about the brakes fading a little bit and the tires not being as grippy as they was in the start later on in the race. Is that what is happening to Philip Dietrich? Because he is struggling to keep up the pace with Maxim Dacha and Lucas Stiefelhagen.
Yeah, we're just over halfway if we finish this lap. Here comes Lucas Stiefelhagen, and here comes Patricia Stalizzane, the inside for turn one, and up into P3 she goes back onto the podium. And what's next for her? The gap that she has to close is about a second to the two in front. So that's a big ask. But if the two in front of her start fighting like they have been so far, Lucas Stiefelhagen did try a move, remember, into turn one on Maxim Dacha. She's going to have an easier time closing up that gap. So the question just is, at the moment, I think, what are the front two going to do? What are Maxim Dacha and Lucas Stiefelhagen going to do? Are they going to work together, seeing the gap they have behind? Or are they going to fight? Or is Lucas Stiefelhagen wanting to go for that pass for the lead?
Hey, it's interesting. In the opening phase of the race, Benjamin Mazatis was falling back. He had a bit of struggle to keep up with the pace in the front. Now he has closed up the gap, and Philip Dietrich has gone the opposite way, from the front and back now with Benjamin Mazatis.
Here is that move from Patricia Stalizzane. Stellar move from Patricia up the inside. What can Alex Gustafsson do is my question, because he's closing up to that battle too. Up the inside goes Philip Dietrich. Is this Patricia Stalizzana letting Philip through, or was that Philip using a push to pass to try and close the gap to the two in front? They did seem to have lost out a bit last time round, last lap. The gap did close up by about 0.2 of a second. Patricia had a lap time of 1:05.6, although that was matched though by Maxime Dacha at the front, also a 1:05.6. These drivers extremely close in terms of pace. No slipstream though from Maxime Dacha at the front, and I think that makes that lap time even more impressive. Oh, the pack behind that though, Gustafsson and Olaf Vaah also in a crazy battle. It's Gustafsson still ahead of Olaf Vaah. Wörtele behind that. Chanter caught up in that battle too, and also caught up in it now is Siri Högfeldt. Oh, okay, there we go. Lucas Stiefhagen has decided that with 2 laps to go, it's now time to go for the attack. And this will be the moment where Maxime Dacha and Patricia Stalizzana and Benjamin Mazatis will close up. Mistake from Philip Dietrich, though, a little bit of a lock-up going into the corner. You can see how much they lose by just fighting going into turn 1. Their whole lead of about 1.3 seconds, I think, has shrunk to about 0.5 of a second. 0.8 lost going side by side into turn 1. Most crucially, though, Lucas Stiefhagen has taken away the lead from Maxime Dacha. Little wide though to the apex of turn 2. That will compromise him on the run to turn 4, the exit out of turn 3, but it seems like it hasn't done too much. Lucas Stiefhagen, I have a feeling, will lead going on to the last lap. Past Alex Gustafsson. Here's that change for the lead though. Crucial this time round. It will be the last lap of the race. Lap number 13 of 13. Up the inside of turn 1. Move was done before they got to the apex, and Lucas Stiefhagen was able to take a normal one into the corner inside the fender. Look at the background, Benjamin Mazatis coming all the way up the inside, going straight. Patricia Stalizzana goes through, and Philip Dietrich gets bogged down by it, back down into P4. Because Stiefhagen, or will it be Maxime Dacha? When will they use their push to pass? I have a feeling for sure coming out of the last corner. Wide though for Lucas Stiefhagen. It's going to be once again a run to the line. Who's going to get it? Both will use push to pass. I'm quite sure Lucas Stiefhagen, seems like he gets the run, and the Dutchman comes through to take victory in race number 1 like he did a year ago. Lucas Stiefhagen wins ahead of Maxime Dacha at the Norisring. Patricia Stalizzana is back onto the podium, and Philip Dietrich is in 4th. Benjamin Mazatis is in 5th. Had pretty similar pace, and they were actually quicker on some parts of the race. Then the front. Here we go then. 5 red lights on the gantry. They're out. We're underway and racing. Julian Wörtele with a good start. Alex Gustafsson with a good start too, but most importantly, Olaf Vaah also with a good start. He keeps P2. Benjamin Mazatis in P4. Remember, he started pole position for race number 1. 3 wide going into turn 1 though. Alex Gustafsson all the way around the outside. The inside though opens up. Look at that, Julian Wörtele going very, very wide. And Olaf Vaah, in his first weekend in the NXT Gen Cup, leads this race. Benjamin Mazatis in the background also looking to get through. He kept P4. Philip Dietrich, talked to him earlier, and he wants that podium. He needs a win to close up in the championship too. So he was determined to get that podium at least. Oh, what's happened there?
We had a car going really wide. It must be Philip Dietrich who now falls like a stone back in the field, and this is not good for his championship.
And also the cars behind will try to work together. Alex Gustafsson looking to the inside of Julian Wörtele. Getting through on the inside of Julian Wörtele, can now chase down Olaf Vaah at the front of the field. Hoping then that Julian Wörtele can keep it or can hold him up. Maxime Dacha finished 2nd in race 1. He's gone round coming out of turn 1, and he's at the complete back of the field.
Yeah, and he's P3 in the championship, and we lose crucial points. It's contact with Philip Dietrich that turns him around and into the only gravel we have here at Norisring.
If anybody tells this to Lucas Stiefhagen, he's going to be celebrating in the car. I have a feeling.
The 2 drivers he's fighting the championship with. And this is good for Patricia Stalizzana, who is only a few points behind Maxime Dacha in the championship.
From that camera angle, it looks quite bad for Philip Dietrich. However, let's leave this to the stewards. It's a high-stakes moment between these 2. And this is the front of the field. It's the 17 Vivian Earl. Can she keep it out of the ball? Yes, she can.
By a small margin.
Yeah, this was at the start, actually. So Vivian Earl is also behind Maxim Dacha now. And it looks like he has some good pace, though. Mazat is behind him, then Patricia Stalizzane. Remember, she had great pace in race number 1, too, but the gap was just a little big, or a little too big to bridge. Up the inside comes Julian Wörtele.
Another dive bomb.
Yeah, that, well, I mean, he made it stick at least. Slippery surface flag is out. That's because there's gravel on the inside of the track. That's where Siri Högfeldt in the Hexis car was pushed to. Chanter in P8. Where is Siri Högfeldt? Siri Högfeldt is in 12th at the moment to do much from where he started. Alex Gustafsson now, though, is that him using a push to pass? He does have a lot of speed, and it does look like he used to push to pass because Luke is also challenging Olaf Va now. Going into turn 1, he's going to go all the way around the outside. Olaf Va coming back up the inside of Alex Gustafsson.
He has to make this stick.
He has to make this stick, Alex Gustafsson. He has to make it count with using a push to pass already. Patricia Stalizzane, late braking for her too, manages to keep P4 with that. Julian Wörtele, after a difficult opening to this race, seems to have found some speed as well. And once again, it was Julian Wörtele, I think, almost moving the advertisement on the barrier in turn 2. It's under investigation for a jump start. That's Andreas Kapfinger. He's at 16th at the moment. Look at that, though. Lucas Stiefhagen the outside of the S-Scale. And this is never a place to overtake. But for Lucas Stiefhagen, or excuse me, for Alex Gustafsson, it is on Olaf Va. Lucas Stiefhagen is closing to this pack as well now. Look at that, a massive train. And, well, Alex Gustafsson from
they're pushing each other.
Alex Gustafsson from P1 all the way back to now P5. And that is how quickly it can go. Patricia Stalizzane, through all of that, has managed to get up into the podium. And it's still, can you imagine Olaf Va leading through all of that?
Yeah, he has amazing racecraft. We see that this is, of course, his first time doing this championship. Has done some Formula, some GT cars before. But yeah, he looks real racy out there, Olaf Va, in the new pointing car.
And into turn 1 we go once again. Patricia looking up the inside of Benjamin Mazatis. 2 blocks of 2 wide behind. It's Lucas Stiefhagen up the inside, I think, of Chanter, the number 33. That will become the outside for turn 2. Can he hang it round there? That's my question. Yes, he has.
And now Benjamin Mazatis is making the move for the lead.
And he has done so. Olaf Va trying to come back on the exit of turn 1 will give him the outside, just like Lucas Stiefhagen had a lap ago, and he couldn't make it stick. Neither can Olaf Va. Benjamin Mazatis now up into P1. Olaf Va, for the first time in this race, down to P2. He was P1. However, he will never get it as easy as he did get it in turn 1. Patricia Stalizzane now trying to push Olaf Va, trying to get the inside for the last corner. While those two are busy battling, Patricia might send it all the way around the outside of both of them. No, she can't. There's no contact with Olaf Va either. Around the outside of both of them. Once again, very wide there, Patricia. Losing out on crucial meters driven to Olaf Va. And because of that, is now still in 3rd. So it's going to be close, though, across the line between these two. Who's going to be P2? It's going to be Patricia Stalizzane by 14 thousandths of a second. And Benjamin Mazatis now, because of these two battling, is getting away a little.
Half a second when he passed the start-finish line. And yeah, now Julian Wörtele joins the fight.
What he's doing right now, 4 tenths, 5 tenths was the gap across the line. This is Linda Freya. She's had this moment, I think, 3 times this weekend, locking up the rear end of the car. It's a tricky braking zone there from Benjamin Mazatis, a little wide at the apex, and indeed that has allowed Olaf Va back up to the inside. If Benjamin Mazatis stays on the outside, he opens the door for Patricia Stalizzane to follow Olaf Va through on the inside. I think that's for sure the line where you want to be, what we've seen throughout this weekend. However, it's Patricia Stalizzane pushing Benjamin Mazatis. The inside still, though, but denied. A very, very defensive line by Patricia Stalizzane, who goes up into P1 because Benjamin Mazatis locks up into turn 1. Lap 11 of 13, Patricia Stalizzane to the lead. Here comes Benjamin Mazatis. A better run coming out of turn 3 to the inside of Patricia Stalizzane, now going into turn 4. A bit of a mistake where she's been so strong this weekend, Patricia, now that she was out in front. The outside, though, is that the moment where she loses the win in this race, or at least the lead. Once again, contact between those two. Look at this pack. We have at least
and Lucas
9 cars.
goes up to the lead.
How did he do that? How many cars did he overtake in one corner?
There as well.
Benjamin Mazat is still in P2. Where's Patricia Stolidzana dropped down to? I think she's dropped down to P8 through this battle. Where, oh where, is Alex Gustafsson? Alex Gustafsson is P5. There he is on the left-hand side of screen. Here comes Julian Wertele, a pole sitter for this race. It's going to go 3-1 into turn 1. 2 banks and 3 wide. I've never seen this before. Oh, no, Patricia Stolidzana gets turned. Contact into turn 1. And that was bound to happen with so many cars so close together.
8 cars at the same time, but now Lukas Stiefelhagen is leading and it's pushed, I think, by Benjamin Masatis.
No, he won't be happy with that. Inside of turn 3 still though. Benjamin Mazat is going extremely wide. Watch Julian Wertele coming through on him too now.
And Maxim Dasher is in the fight as well, and he was turned around a few laps ago.
Well, that would be a underdog story if Maxim Dacha could get back to the lead. I've never seen this before. Lukas Stiefelhagen defending the inside on Julian Wertele, going now onto the last lap of the race. It feels like we've seen about 2 hours of action in this race, and we are not done yet. We are just going on to the final lap of this race. If you have gone home already after DTM, oh boy, have you missed out.
The final lap board is out. Lukas Stiefelhagen leads from Maxim Dacher, Julian Wertele, Benjamin Masatis and Alex Gustafsson, and it's half a second separating the top 5.
Anybody could win this race. Going into turn 1 one final time. The inside from Maxim Dacher. No, not quite. Are we going to have the same top 3 that we had in race number 1? Patricia Stolidzana would have to climb up quite a couple of positions for that. Look at Alex Gustafsson making it 3 wide going into the chicane. No, he bails out of that one, and I think that's a smart decision too. But Lukas Stiefelhagen somehow has found his way back into the lead of this race. I don't know how he's done it, but somehow he's gotten back, and that's what a championship leader does too. That's the moment where he shines, trying to break the slipstream now, but it looks like he has big enough of a gap. Maxim Dacha might be saving that push to pass for later on in this race. Here comes the last corner of this race then. Maxim Dacha going to try and close up that gap, maybe using his push to pass coming out of the final corner. Lukas Stiefelhagen or Maxim Dacha. No, it's going to be Lukas Stiefelhagen who wins race number 2. The action we've had is crazy, but Lukas Stiefelhagen wins race number 2 here at the Norisring. Maxim Dacha somehow finishes P2. My voice is going, but Julian Wertele finishes in P3. Benjamin Masatis in 4th. The pack in front. Maxim Dacha with the penalty he got yesterday dropped down the order. He's in P5. Alex Gustafsson in 6th. The 5 red lights are on the gantry. They're out. We're underway and racing. And it's Philip Dietrich with a good start. Benjamin Masatis immediately trying to move over to cover off Lukas Stiefelhagen, but he's had a tremendous start and he's already up into P2. Our championship leader chasing down P2 in the championship. Philip Dietrich into turn 1. Patricia Stolidzana all the way up the inside, and I have a feeling that she's going to take those positions. She's going to have to give those back up. She does so already on the exit of turn 1. Tried something, didn't work. Back onto the racing line now for Patricia. Nothing that really happened in turn 1. I think the top 3 has kept their positions as they went into turn 1. That's a big moment for Alex Gustafsson. It's rally style, drifting through turn 2. He's used to that obviously with his rally background. Benjamin Masatis and Alex Gustafsson. There's the contact. Look at that, 90 degrees sideways. Alex Gustafsson and manages. Look at this, a massive slipstream straight, or a massive slipstream train on the straight. Here comes Lukas Stiefelhagen though. He knows the urge of getting past Philip Dietrich now. Patricia Stolidzana following him through up the inside. She goes. Philip Dietrich being caught out by the both of them. Patricia now up into 2nd, chasing down Lukas Stiefelhagen. She's been in this position before. She's finished in this position before. Remember, first woman on the podium in NXT Gen Cup.
This slipstream for the others, maybe save a bit of energy, save a bit on the tires to make an attack later on. Also Maxim Dacher locking up behind Philip Dietrich and closing in on the leading pack.
Oh, Bennett Earl touched with CD Huckveld. Those two were best friends after race 1 yesterday. Those two had a massive fight between those. I think the engineering team laughed afterwards how much they were fighting and how much fun they were having. Here comes Patricia Stolidzana though. Is she going to have a look at the inside of Lukas Stiefelhagen? She did have a look though. Lukas Stiefelhagen doesn't really seem bothered by it. Philip Dietrich though with his...
Also last lap we saw Benjamin Masatis going past Alex Gustafsson, and now Julian Wertele going past Alex Gustafsson again.
Was even able to look for a move for the lead. Lucas Stiefelhagen, he's under pressure though, looking up those rear tires constantly into both of our hairpins, turn 4 and turn 1. So he is under pressure and he is feeling that pressure. Here comes Patricia Stalizzana though, with a push to pass, goes past Lucas Stiefelhagen, and this is a massive strategic decision. That's one push to pass used onto lap 9 of 13. Her goal will now be to try and break away from those two.
But we have seen this weekend that it's almost impossible to break away in the lead, especially on this track where the slipstream is so important, and also all the cars are equal, running on the same Hankook tires, so it's not easy to get a gap on this track with these cars.
Stalizzana has gotten past Lucas Stiefelhagen. There was a bit of a lock-up into turn 1. However, even with that lock-up, she still set a personal best sector 1. So about to heat up. Philip Dietrich, though, still holding off that chasing pack. Mazatis, Wörtele, Gustafsson and Chanter all hurdling behind him like a pack of hornets trying to get past Philip Dietrich. But, well, they're not able to. It looks like Stalizzana is back down to 3rd and already having used the push to pass. That's not a great position to be in.
But is it like the Indy 500? You don't want to start the last lap leading.
That he's in at the moment. Looks like he will become the closest rival to Lucas Stiefelhagen. That's the 15. And I think the 88 that make contacts, that pits Venazzi and Theo Vida making contact to 15. That is the car of Theo Vida. Now, of course, that was for the contact in turn 1. Oh, is that a bit of retaliation of what we saw earlier in the race? So, no, it can't have been. It's Bennett Earl who's out of this race. Overtaken Lucas Stiefelhagen, but Stalizzana has closed right back up outside of Lucas Stiefelhagen now, trying to keep him busy in the mirrors. Maxim Daga will love this feed behind him. Well then, last corner of this racetrack. Here comes Lucas Stiefelhagen with the push to pass to the inside of the last corner. Patricia Stalizzana will look to try and play the waiting game inside of Maxim Daga. Push to pass now on the exit of this corner. Where does Patricia Stalizzana end up? 2nd, 3rd. It's Lucas Stiefelhagen who's going to win another race. He's going to make it a triple this weekend. Maxim Daga pulls next to him, but it's not enough. Lucas Stiefelhagen wins race number 3 of the weekend as well. Maxim Daga in 2nd. Patricia Stalizzana in 3rd.